So I came down here to Florida. I was trying to make some content like on the ocean and stuff. It's so windy though. It's just brutally windy. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So I'm in here and I'm enjoying it. I actually did get out today. It was really pretty. It's really windy though, so you can't like the microphone would sound awful. It would just be. Uh, so we're making the most of it. We're doing our thing. I want to talk a little bit about the wave of fortune and the fact that you cannot really rely on a win. The fact that you've got to manufacture it. You've got to just start somewhere with appreciating something. Just write something down that happened that was magical. Just write something down that confirms your beliefs about the world. Find that evidence somehow. Put it in your phone or whatever. Pay attention to anything that goes your way. It's so funny. He's so right in the book. Like, we're so trained to just see the negative immediately in everything. And I think it's evolutionary. I think it's societal too. It's probably both. But I mean, evolutionarily speaking, like, we're wired to survive. So we have to like watch out for stuff that could like eat us, right? Like there's bears and snakes in nature. So it's like you have to just figure out how to flip that and start to see anything positive that happens. So I'll give you some examples. I wasn't going to go anywhere tonight, even though I felt kind of like I should at least go out and, just go out. There's plenty of places, whatever. So I'm on my way driving here and I'm like, I'm just going to take it into the house. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to try to be social at all. And I'm driving down and then a big old transformer just explodes as I'm driving down the road here. And I notice, their beach just got this whole side blacked out, like completely all the way down. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I am going to go out. I'm going to go out. And so I went out and it was fine. And then I was out for maybe an hour, just be a little bit social. Didn't really do much, but I'm in the world, right? And so whatever, come home. And then I'm driving back home and I notice, oh man, they're still blacked out, whatever, And so I'd pull in, I park, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I'm sitting there, like maybe answering a text, then the lights to the parking lot just come right on. All the lights in here come on. I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty funny. So I get out, I come in here, and then I get this camera out, and I'm looking for this thing that I have that's a container. It has like SD cards in it, and I cannot find it. I guess I didn't pack it. I was like, and I'm thinking L on that, But I reached in here to put the lens cap of the camera into a pocket, and I had stashed an SD card that I'm making this video with right now. So that's kind of cool. Little things like that, little wins, and they can be small, and just appreciate them. Just appreciate anything, and think about it, man. Think about where you'd be if you didn't have some of this stuff. Like, it might be tough right now. I get it. I can definitely relate. I've been through a lot of ups and downs myself. But think about where you'd be if you didn't have the capacity and the understanding that you do, which is very, very cool. If you understand some of transurfing. That's another thing that Vadim says in the new book is like, this stuff, you're just still sleeping through. You're not applying it. And it's like, man, it's like he almost wrote it to me. I'm like, damn, dude, you're right. I have to remember to constantly, consistently. You spill something, you rejoice. It's so backwards though. But if you can start to just tip the scale, just get the scale tipped, but you got to move the scale. So you got to find any dumb little thing to celebrate. It doesn't matter. It could be anything, literally anything. And I mean, the more it's synchronicities and magical things, great. You know, I'm logging tons of stuff just because I'm like, oh yeah. Then I can look back at it and I can be like, oh yeah, that did happen. That did happen. Oh yeah, that totally happened. Oh yeah. I want to complain right now, but last time something like this happened, X, Y, and Z unfolded. Look at all this evidence for the world taking care of me. Look, the world takes care of me. Here's why it takes care of me. And the more that you do that, the more that you remember those times, the more those times are going to happen over time. But you got to invent the first win. You just got to find it. Just find the first one and keep looking. And then you'll find the wave of fortune. You just have to search for it. It's already there, stacked up, he says in the book. The wave of fortune is stacked. It's not actually a thing that does like this. It's you that do like this. Because you're advantaging. You're celebrating spilling coffee on your lap. Sounds stupid to the pragmatist. But try it. See what happens. Wave of fortune. Just take a crowbar and fucking get that first win and keep the momentum going.